the way we're gonna roll this is we've got representatives from each of the national working groups. We'll just talk for a few minutes on what the working groups do, and then we'll go ahead and open up to any questions. So we got Dave Hiscox with Connecticut's going to talk about the bridge deck preservation working group. Mario's here, talk about innovative technology demonstration. Joe Navarra, construction quality. Justin Bruner, bridge preservation, bridge management systems, and Michael Waite. Do we have Michael? Yes, right. Okay, good. Talk about the bridge inspection program managers, potential bridge inspection program managers for the Northeast region. And I am going to talk about the two other ones. So local agency outreach working group is, it's a really active and a really interesting working group that it's a national, everyone, all the partnerships have representatives participate in this. This group, the intent is to get out to the local agencies, right? At least half of the bridges in the country are owned by local agencies. So how do we get them into that preservation mindset? How do we get them to understand funding and what these treatments are and what they need to be doing? So there's a lot of education and outreach. Some good stuff this group does. A lot of training. This group will provide, upon request, about an hour and a half training session that's specifically geared for locals, and they'll do it for as small a group or as big a group as they have. I know in February we did one for New Mexico, and I think there was maybe 3 guys in the room, but it was good. We get to have that one-on-one, talking to the local agencies on how to do bridge preservation. So we've done over 20 of these over the last few years, and again, they're available upon request. They're virtual. On our website, there's ways, there's brochures and stuff if you want to help promote it. Working with the local LTAPs, NACE, and other agencies, to get the word out on this. So there's the states as of, I think, Monday that we've done the local agency training for. Another thing this group has done, and this is a manual that's available on our website, is they work with the Bridge Preservation ETG to develop this report on prioritizing preservation for locally owned bridges. And this is it's a really interesting report. It's a short read. It's like 20 pages, so it's something you can easily get into. But it looked at funding sources, preservation actions that locals can do, and then the status of preservation programs for local agencies. And they keyed in on 3 case studies in Michigan, Indiana, and California that have had success in bridge preservation. So good information there. It's written, for local agencies. Anyone can join these monthly meetings. They meet on the 3rd Wednesday of each month, and so I think we just had last week was the August one. So the next one's in September 20th. That's the link if anyone wants to join it. And I wanted to spend one slide on the other one that just got going, our Bridge Preservation Coatings Working Group. This had been a very active group, and then kind of went dormant for a couple years, and it's been reinvigorated. They just had their first meeting back a couple weeks ago. So, the Coatings Working Group, obviously, they're working to promote the development and adoption of best practices for coatings, general guidance on the selection of appropriate coatings, and we had the whole coatings, panel session on, it was Tuesday, I think, that got into some of this. And then just promote awareness among the practitioners of the financial benefits of coating systems and keeping them going. This group has decided, at least initially, to meet every other month, so they're the second Thursday of every other month. Again, we just met a couple weeks ago, so our next meeting will be October 12th, 11 o'clock Eastern, and that's the link. And I think we got next, bridge deck preservation. So.
Morning all. I'll try to keep this short. A lot of what we do with the bridge preservation deck you've kind of already heard, touched on by other people, Dick Dunn, Ben. So I'm a little late to the game. I finally figured out what TSP2 means. It's the Transportation System Preservation Technical Services Program. There's 2 TSPs in there. Just my revelation. And of course now it's going to change. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate that. So our group meets every 3rd Thursday in the month, and we talk about bridge preservation strategies. The co-chairs of this group are Sarah Sundag from Minnesota DOT and Pat Martins from Bridge Preservation and Inspection Services. We would love to have people join in and join us. Our mission is to promote development and adoption of best practices for bridge decks that extend their service life and demonstrate the value of preservation. Some of what we do is provide education outreach. We facilitate research, surveys, and peer exchanges, develop best practice guidance, promote findings of the NCHRP 1901, leading practices for detailing bridge ends and approach pavements. It's a lot of words there. But we do come up with deliverables. For instance, we have published a concrete bridge deck preservation resource guide. It's on the TSP2 pages under bridge preservation, and I'll show you how to get to that in a little bit. There is a bridge product database which was stood up and published 5 years or so ago, and has lain dormant, but we intend to get back in and start reaching out for additional information, updating that database and guide. And we have been working toward a sealer synthesis study, as Ben Foster mentioned, that hopefully will be picked up by NCHRP and move forward. Just a brief summary of some of these deliverables. The Concrete Bridge Deck Preservation Resource Guide. It gives a listing of various bridge deck preservation actions, such as flushing, washing, sealing, joint maintenance, concrete repair, overlays, etc. It's mostly a resource for those new to bridge deck preservation and the different strategies they can employ. And there are links to other available documentation in that guide. Here's a shot from the guide. This one happens to be specific to bridge deck flushing and washing. I'm not sure if you can see all the fine print, but basically there's a description of what's involved with flushing and washing. Then there's a benefit section, best practices are laid out, and there's resources to links to other things involved with that preservation technique. Again, to get to those documents, you go to the TSP2.org website, and that's what it is, TSP2.org. On it, going back, you click on the TSP2 Bridge Preservation link there on the bottom to get to our site. Our site then, under the Technical tab, you go to Decks and Joints, and there it is under Decks and Joints. We're also, again, looking to get into the bridge product database, which was stood up many years ago. It includes sealers, overlays, deck patching materials. It's on, again, that bridge preservation website. In the bottom right, see the box, the red box? That's where you would click to go to the database. And again, that will be picked up and hopefully brought up to date. We are also working on a sealer synthesis. In the hierarchy, the principal investigator for this is Dr. Jinju out of Michigan State University. We've pretty much finished task one of literature review, surveys, bring everything, information gathering. There has been a white paper, and we are looking to submit to NCHRP our problem statement. Hopefully that'll be picked up and eventually published. That's a quick overview. Thank you. Next.
It's me. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Baggio. I am the vice chair of the ITD. So a few weeks ago, when Nancy and Todd mentioned to me to give an update about the ITD, I thought, well, if I'm going to talk about innovation, why not use the ChatGPT? So that's exactly what I did. So I asked the chat to give me a help. So I need to do a presentation to the Northeast Bridge Preservation Group about the ITD. So let me see if the chat can help me. So apparently, even ChatGPT is not able to help me. But I kept working and I tried again. So I explained exactly what I need. And ChatGPT gave me exactly what I was expecting. He gave me a presentation. He divided 9 different points that I should mention. But what ChatGPT doesn't understand is that I don't have 35 minutes to cover all of that. So that's really outstanding. I was very happy with that. But then I had to explain to the chat what really I need. So Nancy told me I only have 5 minutes. So let me see what I can do. All right. So unfortunately, Nancy's not here. Otherwise, she would understand that it's impossible to do it in 5 minutes. But The goal of the presentation, I'm going to follow the advice of the chat, and I'm going to talk about the innovative, the infrastructure bill, and also about the ITD. So first of all, the infrastructure bill is a $1.2 trillion package, and that package talks specifically about innovation and how innovation, and it addresses how innovation applies to our industry. So these are a few of the terms that are present in this infrastructure bill. Some very interesting terms. On the top here, we have future proofing. And that's going to be something that you guys are going to see, I'm going to cover a little bit, but you guys are going to see in every single technology present on the innovative technology demonstration. So let's cover future proof, as that's a concept that often we're not familiarized with. So future-proof is the ability of something to continue to be of value in the distant future. That means I'm going to use this product today, and this technology is not going to become obsolete 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, because we know that that's not going to be helpful. So this chart is very important, and what we can see here is that the number of structures 50 years or more is increasing rapidly. So it's by 2050, we're going to have over 500,000 bridges that they're going to be 50 years or older. I think that's a very important chart for us, because in this room, we have a lot of leaders of this industry. So as leaders of this industry, we need to look for longer-term technologies that they're going to last longer, that they're going to help to preserve our structures. Usually, these technologies, these type of technologies, they are innovative technologies. So we cannot fight a different war, a war where 500,000 bridges are 50 years older, with the same tools that we had before. We need new tools. And there is exactly where the ITD comes. So just another chart before I talk about the ITD, and that's finalizing the infrastructure bill. We can see here that the infrastructure has a lot of deficiencies, and we need to make this work best. So let's talk about the ITD. The ITD, it's the Innovative Technology Demonstration Work Group, and here we can see a few of the main points of the group. So our goal is to make your structure more durable, last longer, resist to the effect of weather and aging, materials for concrete protection that extend the life of the bridges. With that in mind, the ITD work group will have about 20 members and 9 different innovative technologies on the way. So here we have these members. We have the manufacturer. The manufacturer is the one who created the new technology, so the industry. Then we have the consultant. The consultant plays a very important role, because if the manufacturers are writing the report, as you guys can imagine, the reports are all going to be outstanding. It was a great application, everything was smooth. So when we have a third-party consultant, that gives credibility to the program. So it's somebody else that's not the DOT and is not the industry talking about how that program happened. We have the owners, so we have a lot of you guys, the agencies. So we need the bridges from you guys to be able to perform that. We're all under the TSP2, and the academia is also here to help to show the, to give the consultant. All right, here are a few of the members. If we were not the last presentation of the last day, I would invite all of you to visit many of us over there. These are a few of the members. I strongly recommend that if you do have the opportunity to test a new technology, I'm sure that a lot of these new technologies, they can help you to bring this innovation to your state, to your agency. So our meetings are on the second Friday of the month, and we welcome all of you. If you are an industry member and you have a new technology, we welcome you. If you are an agency and you want to test some of these new technologies, we also welcome you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm here to present I'm Joe Navarra with Maryland. I'm here to present on the Bridge Preservation and Construction Quality Working Group. And so I got a little background with me. My boss, my direct supervisor, he was the chairman of this partnership for many, many years, and he voluntold me to be on this committee right from the, this working group right from the beginning. But the problem is that he never actually invited me to the main meetings, so I there was talk about TSP2 and pocket guides and AASHTO, some obscure references, and so I really don't understand the whole thing. And just recently I've been going to the main meetings like about a year ago, and it's starting to all kind of make sense a little bit more now. So I tell you this whole story because A, I can do this presentation in under 5 minutes, unlike other people in this group, and B, if there's any questions about anything that I say, I probably will not be able to answer it because I'm just barely understanding what's going on right now. So those are the two reasons why I mentioned that. But we started off with doing a very simple survey when I first joined the committee. It was like 5 questions: give us your best preservation method, give us your worst. The results of this survey were never actually presented to the group. Somehow the leader of the group kind of kept it to themselves, and then eventually we found out from them that the decks were top priority in this group. Everyone wanted to know how to preserve their decks properly. Then the leader kind of left the group for a little bit, and we kind of were leaderless for a while and kind of struggling, which also leads to some of my confusion with the group as well. Eventually, we got some new leadership in there. They decided to do some white papers, and now that I know what pocket guides are, they don't want to contradict the pocket guides. They're already there, but they kind of want to just work with the pocket guides and kind of give extra information beyond what the pocket guides online already say. So these are the topics that we're currently working on. I have not actually seen any of the white papers. I'm not actually writing any of the work papers. So again, my 1-slide presentation, I'm not going to read them all, but you can look at what I've written here. But this is all that we're doing and where we're at. And there's really no timeline for when we're going to get these pocket guides, these white papers out. I assume at some point I'm going to see some drafts and read through them and maybe make some comments. But other than that, that's about all I know. So thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Justin Bruner from PennDOT, and I'm really concerned my slides aren't up. No, just kidding. I don't have any slides. It's all good. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about our monthly call. I think it's bi-monthly now. We talk about bridge management systems, right? So we have a small group that gets together it's basically averaging out every other month to talk about how we utilize our existing bridge asset management systems and leverage them to get us actual information out of them. So if you saw the presentation earlier from FHWA and thought, hey, that's some really cool stuff that's going on, like I see a lot of data there, but how do I use that data to actually make decisions? How do I influence my program with Markov or Weibull deterioration? It's a great question. I'd like to know too. So we talk about these things, right? So we say, all right, here's what you can do with this. Here's what you should do with this. We have some really great presentations that happen. Philip made a great presentation last time. I've made a couple of presentations there. So it's really it's a small and relatively intimate group that you can ask the really basic questions or the really advanced questions and get people to respond to you and have an honest, thorough conversation about the issues that you face trying to achieve lowest life cycle cost or asset management type decisions in your bridge programming. So with that, it's probably the fastest we're going to get there. This was the fastest presentation. Any questions on that? I think it's the first Tuesday of the month. Philip, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe, I think.
We'll do Michael, and then we'll do questions.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I thought I was going to be the fastest one. I don't know.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Waite from Connecticut DOT. I'm a project engineer in the Bridge Safety and Evaluation Unit. I'm just going to be speaking for a couple minutes with some updates in our unit. I came down here to this nice conference, this great conference. It's my first conference ever, so it's been very fruitful and delightful. I've enjoyed all the presentations. But just Mary Baker, our principal engineer, just wanted to speak to you guys on a few things. First, she'd like to she wanted me to reach out to you guys to see if anybody's interested in being part of a bridge inspection program managers committee. We'd like to just kick that off. She's interested in kicking that off, working with the MSU and the NEBBP. So if you guys are interested, you can contact me or, Mary Baker. I know Mr. Ben Foster over there from Maine DOT, he's got a list of, candidates and representatives that might be interested in that too. But also too as well, just quickly, just going into our progress with the SNBI transition. Since March, I've been working with our bridge program management group. We have a little working group with bridge safety and the bridge management group. So back from March to May, we've kind of been working on, with the SNBI items, doing some transitions. So we have 2 lists going on. We have our clean transition data collecting list and then our partially to non-clean transition list. So, one of our first tasks was to take the partially to non-clean trans list and try to come up with hours, how many minutes it'll take to, pick out codes. So that was our first task. And then the last couple months, we've been just kind of trying to, again, continue on with the hours. With the new SNBI coming up, because we're looking to start to collect in January of 2024. So we're kind of waiting for the actual forms to come out. But, that's about it. So, thank you.
All right, so we do have a few minutes left for the panelists. If we have any questions from the audience, we can go ahead and ask those. Any questions? Any questions? You guys did a great job updating your. Oh, we do have a question. Go ahead. Yeah. You'll have to turn it on.
For the bridge inspection working group, who should we contact if we're interested? Okay. All right. Thanks.
I'm going to send you an email.
Yeah, and more information on that group is, it's only the state bridge inspection program managers. There's no vendors. It's really a collaboration where y'all can say what you need to say without, Federal Highway's not there. You bring up issues and then you approach where you need to go. So it's a good group in that sense. You can really do different things that you might have to face.
For the Bridge Preservation Construction Quality Working Group, I saw there was some white papers being developed for a couple of items, latex, hydro, polyester. Are there industry people involved on that, helping develop those?
So every meeting we do have someone from the industry that comes and gives a little presentation about that. But who actually volunteers to write the paper, I'm not exactly sure, okay?
When do you guys meet? I mean, I'd like to be a part of that one.
The 3rd Thursday of the month, except on Thanksgiving and, Christmas time.
I'll reach out and
All right.
get on the email list. Thanks.
Any other questions?
All right, well, thanks a lot to all of our panelists. And kind of wrapping things up here before we run into the business meeting, big thank you to our industry members and sponsors. I mean, you guys all got in there and saw that was incredible, the level of support that we had for this meeting. Big thank you to all of our speakers, our presenters, our panelists here today and all week. Just a great job. Moderators too. Jason Arndt, Kevin Lindell, the team here at Delaware DOT has just been incredible. This has been a fantastic facility, great to work with. Couple just other last minute things. At the Midwest partnership meeting last fall in Lexington, we had a conversation here at the end and said, boy, it'd be great if we had a meeting app. So we did listen, and we have an app. So who actually used the app this week? Anybody? Oh, I see a few hands. Okay. Any feedback on that? Is that helpful? I mean, did you guys all know we had an app? I mean, how do we promote that better? Okay. So we need to do a better job, I guess, promoting that we have an app. Did anybody have any technical issues using it that did? It's the agenda, it's the floor plan, it's when all of our breaks are at, it's info bios on all the speakers, okay, well, we just need to do a better job promoting it then. We've gotten several questions throughout the week on PDHs, so we're doing it a little differently going forward. So we had a form that everyone should have been emailed. It's also in the app, but there's a PDH form where it's just a self-reporting tool, so you'll just click on the boxes, the sessions that you attended. This is kind of the way of the world now, how everybody's doing it. And then you keep a copy of that for your records. You don't need to submit that back to us. It's all for our PDHs, all self-reporting now anyway. And then lastly, the conference evaluations. So we got QR codes set up. It's in the app. And I think Nancy sent that out as well. It's on the meeting webpage too. So please, if you have not, fill out the conference evaluation. That really helps steer us for future meetings, where we need to focus time and what people want to hear. So with that, I think we're ready to roll into the business meeting, and I'll get you set up.